1 second.
All right. And we are live on YouTube, Twitch.
Yeah. What up, YouTube and
Twitter.
Twitch? And Twitter. All right. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. What up, everybody? Have a very, very special guest, very, very special friend of the show. Now, if you a real gemstone and juice head, I think we call y'all our fans and stands out there. You remember this man was our very first guest we had on the show. And way back in episode, I think we were still in the single or double digits at that point.
Yeah. What's crazy is this is episode 199.
Yes, well, on the eve of our 200th episode, we're bringing him back. One of our dear friends, a very talented artist, singer, songwriter, out the H, who was also at the Bun B H-Town Takeover show this week at the Houston Livestock show and Rodeo. I was not there myself. Figgy was in attendance, though. I heard it was live and popping. So we're going to talk to the man who was on stage himself and also about some other things he got going on, man. He's been on the Lil Kiki album as of late and some other projects. We're going to hear what he's got cooking up. And without further ado, let me welcome our dear friend Jack Freeman back to the podcast.
Yes, sir. Jack Freeman. What's going on, man?
What it do, man? What it do? Yo, you know what's crazy is I never knew that I was the first guest y'all had on the show.
You was the very first guest. And I was, to be honest, I was kind of nervous because I'm like, dang, like I'm a fan of this dude. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I reached out to him and we never had a guest on. And we always said we ain't having no guests. The only guest we're going to have on is Arian Foster. That's the only guest we want. And I ran across you. And you was like, shoot, let's do it. And you showed up and everything. I'm thinking like, man, he about to show up with an entourage. It's about to be crazy. And you just showed up with just you. I'm like, damn. I'm like, this dude's cool as hell, man. Yeah, and it was probably one of the best.
Man, I really don't like traveling with a lot of people. So like I don't even know who I would bring if I had like, you know what I'm saying? So nah, man, shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all for having me. I'm glad I could be the first guest, man. And I hope I was a good one.
No, definitely, man. Every time we have you on, it's always a good episode. Like Figgy said, like we never really intend to have a guest-focused podcast because you know how people are. You know, people be flaky and shy. They don't show up, or like Figgy said, they show up and bring like 10 niggas, and we recording at work. So, you know, we can't be blowing up the spot like that. But no, you set it off really nicely, man, when you came through. So,
and Ryan, you know, niggas be flaky because I was trying to have guests on my podcast. And them niggas didn't show up. So it was only like a couple of times that a couple guys didn't show up. But,
hey, we still waiting for Scarface, man. We still waiting for Scarface.
You're gonna be waiting a long time. We're gonna be waiting a long time.
Hey, I was heated. I'm not gonna lie. I was heated because I saw him on the Ghetto Boys podcast, and I'm like, wait a minute, dog. We just need you for about a cool 30 minutes, face.
I don't really know what it took to get him to even commit to doing that podcast, but because he's a nutcase. But
I didn't feel too bad when I saw the Kanye documentary and I saw that, you know, Kanye was playing him Jesus Walks and Scarface was supposed to come record his verse and he never showed up. So I'm like, okay, we ain't the only ones. He was flaking on Kanye back in the day. So
when I watched it, I was like, yeah, that sounds like Scarface. Yeah, like he did exactly what he would have done. He was just 200 pounds larger at that time. You know, but yeah, and what also, I guess for context on that, I believe that what happened right after that was the towers got hit. So I don't think he got a chance to go back.
That's fair.
So 9/11 hit and like a whole bunch of, you remember, like, I don't know if y'all remember 9/11, like flights, niggas just stopped flying. Like they shut down airports and people just couldn't really go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that was one thing, but then it was also Scarface. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So.
think out of all the people, he got the right to do that, man. I think he reached that status where I can't be mad at him if he don't show up. I could be mad, but I can't really be mad, man.
Yeah, look, if you knew half of if you knew half of it, man, it would just man, yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough getting that guy.
Yeah, I know you got some because you call him Brad, so I know y'all close, man. Because everybody else call him Face or
Brad
Scarface.
is,
You call him y'all on first name basis, so I know y'all got some stories.
Yeah. Brad's an interesting character, man.
Yes,
He's definitely an interesting character. Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to you, man. First off, we'll talk about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, Bun B, H-Town Takeover. All the Houston legends were in attendance. Looked like they even got Chameleonaire, man. They got him out and they brought him on stage. That was fire.
He hopped on a flight, man.
Yeah,
he hopped on a flight.
Everybody was on ESG, Lil Kiki, Zero, Slim Thug. Pretty much everybody of note from the H-Town, the glory days of H-Town music was there, and you were in attendance as well. So let's talk about that first, man. What was that experience like for you? First off, how did you get to be like? How did they even contact you to be on stage? And how did that whole process go? And how was the whole experience?
Ironically, Bun called me.
Okay.
There were rumblings for like the last couple of months. We knew that Bun was going to be doing something, and we knew some guys that are also most of the band. Everybody that was in the band on stage, we also toured with Face. So there was a rumbling that they were going to need a band. So I knew that they, put in there. I think there was a few bands in the running. I think I believe they considered the Suffers as well. But it was, I knew that for the most part, for that particular sound, the band was probably going to be us. And but I didn't know where I fit in the show because there's so many artists on the show that don't have singers on their hooks or anything like that. There's no real harmony. Southside, there's nothing to sing on Southside. You know what I mean? So I knew that a lot of people had records like that. Like a lot of their biggest songs didn't have a singer on it from back then. So I knew I had to just kind of get in where I fit in. So I really was just kind of waiting on the call. I didn't know if I was going to be be asked to do it or not. But Bun gave me a call last week, and while they were at rehearsal, he was like, "Yeah, we need some background singers. What are you doing?" And I said, "Nothing. I actually left that day open." So you know what I'm saying. So so he called me. I went to rehearsal the next day. Got a lay of what the set was going to be, and it was seamless after that. So.
That's dope, man. So, how did that experience feel on stage, like live in front of? I know you've done plenty of shows. You ain't no stranger to no live performance, but to have that scope, number one, the audience is so far away from you. You're at NRG Stadium, and to have that many legends around you, like, what was the actual experience like when you were on stage performing for all those people out there?
So funny enough, the crowd really wasn't that far away. I mean, they're not right up on the stage, but they weren't as far away as you would think. Like if you're standing on the stage, if not pointed towards the end zone, because that stage revolves. If you're not pointing at an end zone, you're really not that far away from everybody because they add those seats from what I believe would be the sideline for NFL games. They add seats to that. So they push it out a little bit more, but we're still on a field. That stage is super big, but it was a dope feeling. I wasn't nervous at all. It was just a lot of fun. Like going out there and seeing over 70,000 in that room. Like I gotta say, man, like it's, I I don't think that anyone would argue to me that as far as Houston hip hop goes and the totality of Houston music, I think that that's probably the greatest day of hip hop, of his Houston hip hop ever. I know they've done sets at, you know, uh, the Free Press, and you know, done Houston sets at South by and all of that stuff. Nothing beats the Rodeo though. I would like the only thing that could have topped it is if we were able to duplicate that for a Super Bowl in Houston.
Yeah.
And then 30 million people got to watch that. But all of those artists at that time, at this point in our careers, in their careers, I believe it was the greatest day, because I also believe that if we had tried to do this 15 years ago, it probably wouldn't have worked, because you had so many things, so many variables. You got guys maybe that had differences at that point that probably couldn't be in the same room at the time. You had guys that, you know, schedules, and, you know, just, I think it was just the perfect timing for all of this, man. Like, I think if you weren't in that room last night, it was like you really missed an incredible time. And we got a lot of backstage footage and all of that stuff that's probably gonna come out. So you'll be able to see it in its totality, you know, in some type of way. I don't know what the platform is gonna be, but it was an amazing time, man.
Yeah, I was actually gonna bring that up too, because obviously I'm not from Houston. I've been here since 2016. But the way that, man, I kind of know the history about the Rodeo, how it never really been you know, a rapper to have a night at the Rodeo like this. So I knew how important it was.
Not like that, no.
Yeah, I know you had, you know, I guess you could probably count Cardi B, but it wasn't like
Cardi broke the attendance record.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
But I think our show was in the top 10 of attendance. And then the only other rapper that I know of that did it was LL Cool J. I saw LL there. But yeah, other than that, I don't recall. Oh, I mean, they had the Black Eyed Peas, if you want to count that. But yeah, they've never had a Houston hip hop headliner for the Rodeo.
Yeah. So, and I gotta say, man, I'm not even like a born and raised Houstonian, but that kind of brought a tear to my eye, man. It really got me when I seen ESG on that stage performance, inside the NRG, and people actually all around singing the song. I was just like, wow, because it's one thing for a rapper to get up on stage and they, you know, they perform their song, and it's a lot of people that's like, what's this? But the whole the whole crowd was singing Southside. The whole crowd was rapping the whole Mo City Don freestyle. So it was the energy was so crazy. I know you was on the stage, but me being in a crowd, the energy was so crazy, man. I'm like, wow, because last week I was at the Tim McGraw concert, and it was cool. It was a good concert. It was super chill. But this one was like everybody was just having fun. It was good vibes. Just walking around the stadium. You seen some random SUC shirts. You see all type of random legendary shirts where it's just like, damn, like people, we should have been had this, but I agree with you, man. I think 2022 was the right time for it to finally happen.
Yeah, and you know, I gotta say, man, it also says a lot about us as a whole, because I think we all know a few months ago, almost in that very same spot, just outside in the parking lot, we had a really tragic situation go on at Astroworld, and you know, I'm of the thought that, you know, Trav, you know, I don't think he deserved a lot of the blame that he got for that, because he wasn't in the crowd and he wasn't trying to incite a riot or anything like that. I think what happened was is just a lot of people there that were and the energy wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like the people, there was like a lot of people there that had a lot of chaotic energy around there, and it caused a tragedy. And for something that like that to happen at a festival, you know, we don't know if we're ever going to have an Astral again, right? So it said a lot that we could go and bring 70,000 plus in that stadium, and everything could go the way that it went, and everybody was there for what you should be there for a concert for, to show love to the people that you came with, to fellowship with people that you didn't come with, to meet new people, to connect on a music level, because music is about people, man. That's what we do this for. Everything is about people. We make the music to give it to the people. And when we go to concerts, we don't like looking out in the crowd and the energy's bad, or they're not feeling what we got going on, or the people in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like it said a lot about us to be able to show up, and not just show up, but show up in record numbers, and to leave there with a certain type of love. Like, you know, Figgy, like I know you said you've been here since 2016. You know, if this was 2002, I don't know that we could pull it off, because Southsiders and Northsiders didn't kick it like that. We actually didn't really even like each other. You know what I'm saying? So not only would that have been a hard thing to do, but getting those artists on would have been a hard thing to do. Just before all of these dudes got their deals and all of that stuff, you know, there was guys on that stage that had legitimate beefs at one point. You know what I'm saying? They had problems with each other. You know, whatever those problems stem from, you know, is, you know, water under the bridge at this point. But there were times where like a lot of these guys couldn't even really be in the same room together. And so even just being backstage and just looking around and these dudes chopping it up, and then they get off the stage and they standing in the pit. They didn't go back to the dressing room. They stood in the pit and watched everything, and they spitting each other verses and recording each other and taking selfies together and stuff like that, man. Like it was a maturation of everybody, man. Like I got to see a lot of people come together in a way that wouldn't have been able to do. They wouldn't have been able to do a long time ago. And I really appreciate Bond for bringing that. You know, because he could have tried to do this thing on his own, man. He could have just went up there, did his Bun B set, and with a band or whatever, or just with a DJ, and went home. But he immediately wanted to break bread with everybody and wanted to sit down with everybody and get this thing to happen, man. Bun really deserves most, if not all, of the credit for this, man. So that goes without saying right there. Like I couldn't even do this interview without giving that credit to where it was due, because the level of unselfishness it took for him to make everything happen this way, him and his team, the level of humility it took to even for him to just even call me. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't have to call me. I mean, he has my number, but he didn't have to call me to do anything. And for him to share that stage with everybody, share such a big stage with all of us, and give everybody their proper light and their proper shine, and let everybody do what they came to do. Do you know what I'm saying? He deserves all of the credit for being able to just step out of the like, if you will, like step out of his way and out of the way of the show, and just letting us do our thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed last night was I was really curious how the show was gonna flow, because I'm like, man, it's a lot of artists, and you know, I wonder how Smooth is gonna go. I wasn't sure Bun was just gonna be out there the whole time, but he did. I want to say he did maybe one song, the first song, and then he stepped out the way, and it was like you ain't see Bun B for like a good 10 minutes. And then he came back on and brought somebody else out. He was like really out the way.
Yeah, he would the way we structured it was he would come out, do 2 songs, and then we would go into a set for the North Side guys mostly. And Pokey was on that part of the set too. And then when he came on the stage, that's when we knew there was another faction of the show. So then we did the Southsiders, and then he would come back up again, and then we did the R&B portion, and then he came back up, and then that's when we had Devin and Toby, and then he finished it out. So the way we did that set was masterfully done. The way he broke it up and gave us everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gave us that Swisher House, and then he gave us that SUC, and then he gave us that R&B port, which warmed my heart, because I mean, come on now, I'm an R&B singer, so so being able to have H-Town there, and Latoya, and Baby Bash, because we had to represent for the Mexicans. We had to represent for the Mexicans, so so the way we did the set, and it was crazy, is like I didn't really even get to hear the whole set like flow properly until the show, because we had to rehearsals, we were still learning, everybody was learning the songs, and everybody was trying to figure out what parts the band was playing and all that stuff, so we didn't really have a completely free-flowing show until the day of. So we made it work, man. It was dope.
Yeah, it really is. And like you said, I think Bun is the only one who could have pulled something like that off. I always thought that, UGK, Bun B, and Pimp C were always the unifiers of not just Houston music, but the South, period, man. People forget when Bun B was going on his Free Pimp C and was collaborating with everybody who was popping from the South. And then Pimp C came out with Knocking Doors Down, basically telling everybody to end their beef and stop bullshitting when shit was starting to get kind of hot in the city.
Yeah.
They've always been the unifying force between music. The only thing I regret not happening, I wish could happen, Trade of Truth should have been there, man. And I understand, there are reasons why likely it couldn't happen, but that was the one thing that was missing that would have made it absolutely perfect to have Trey there, to have some kind of reunion between Trey and Zero, or something to show everybody that everything's all good now. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. But can't have everything.
Yeah, I would probably say Mike Jones too. I was expecting Mike Jones to come out. I'm not sure why, but I thought I just knew he was going to show up and they was going to do Still Tipping. So I was a little disappointed Mike Jones show up.
Yeah, as far as I know, he was supposed to be on the show, and for whatever reason he couldn't make it. I think he lives up in Dallas now or something like that. And for whatever reason he couldn't make it. We actually had a little moment for him. That would have been dope, because you want to see him do Still Tipping, and you want to see him do Back Then, you know what I'm saying? And Trey was also another that was asked to do it. And he had his personal reasons why he didn't want to do it. And I respect it. It was just a little bit, for me as a fan, it was just a little bit disappointing that he couldn't that we couldn't make that happen. Obviously also, because I know everybody's gonna say it anyway, but Brad not being there was also another one that really kind of hurt me. But and that's that's a whole nother situation. But for me,
I think we losing you for a minute, Jack.
You in the Matrix?
Yeah, he driving through third ward or something, man. I don't know. The connection ain't kind of spotty.
Yeah,
I think we lost him.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna try to bring him back. But yeah, I was a little disappointed. Scarface didn't show up. I thought he was because the band was there and Jack was there. So I'm like, all right, this is perfect. Willie D was there. He performed My Mind Playing Tricks on Me. So I'm like, all right, this is the perfect chance for Scarface to get back on. And the song went off after that. So I'm like, oh man. That's the worst feeling ever, man, because Slim Thug, he played Still Tipping. So I'm like, all right, they played the hook. So I'm thinking Mike Jones about to come up and we'll write the Paul Wall. I was just like, oh man. So that's yeah.
And it's disappointing because like this moment will probably never happen again, man. To play these songs in front of that audience, like I know people got deep, and I'm not gonna say I don't know the real reasons. I assume the trade, there's a lot behind the trade and all that stuff. But I mean, this is the only chance they had, man. This is the only chance they had to do Still Tipping in front of 70,000 people at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. For it to not be the completes, everybody in it, for Scarface not to be there, and like I don't want to dump on it because I know they did their best. I'm definitely not dumping on it. It was still a very special moment, but it's just grating that so few legends, like so many people have died, man. Like so many people couldn't be there. Fat Pat, Big Mo, so many Houston legends we got. They weren't able to be there.
Yeah, they did a tribute to them too. So they had
saw some of that.
So it was pretty dope. But yeah, I agree, man. I think something special like this, because this ain't just no regular Free Press or the Houston Press concert or something. This is the Houston Livestock Rodeo, and I just feel like at that point you got to be like, you know what, screw it, man. I know we don't see eye to eye, but this is probably the one and only time this has happened. Because you know, life too short, man. You never know when the last time you might see somebody hit that stage, and then it's like, damn. But
I mean,
back. What's up?
We back. My bad. I was.
You was in the Matrix, man.
Yeah, I was hitting some Wi-Fi, but yeah, like I think, for me, the biggest, letdown for me was just not having Brad there. I think that's a separate.
Now are you did he plant, was it at any point that he was supposed to be on there, or was, because I thought he was going to show up for the strength that you was there and his band and all that stuff. I'm thinking like, okay, it's a chance. So when they played My Mind Playing Tricks, when Willie D was out there and he finished that song and that was it, I was like, oh, I just knew he was going to hit the stage.
He was definitely asked to be there, and he declined. That's all I'll say about the decline. Right. But he was supposed to be. I put it like this: all the ones that we wanted to be there were asked to be there, and they either had their own thing going on, or they had. I guess I don't know if Mike had a scheduling conflict or what, but I saw the set, and the only one that I knew for sure, I knew that Trey was asked, and I knew that he declined completely. Like so he was never really on the set, but we were going to have him. But what I think once we realized that Mike probably wasn't going to be there, which was probably like a week before the show. That's actually when Blonde was like, okay, now we definitely got room for ESG, because ESG might not have had that moment if because we only could do an hour.
Yeah.
And they were gonna cut our mics off at like 101. So so we really had to like fit everything in at one time. And but I think that if all of those guys could have been there, we could have made that happen, we've just been rocking it because I think Blunt would have given up a couple of his songs. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would have. We would have made it. We would have made it happen. But I hate those guys weren't there. I've actually never met Mike, but that would have been cool. A lot of those guys I had never really met. I never actually. Who hadn't I met? That was my first time really chopping it up with Zero.
Okay.
I never met Flip until this week.
Damn, really? Flip?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
He's always out and about in the town. I figured y'all would have ran into each other.
Like, yeah, we've seen each other, but like we've never just like sat and been like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? Like we never really were introduced to each other. And I had never met Chameleon there. But everybody else, Paul, you know, Slim is the homie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pokey, me and Pokey had just met a few months ago. I did a song for him.
Okay.
And then you know, obviously Kiki, and I had met Bash a couple of times. I had met the H-Town separately. You know, I met G.I. and Shazam at different settings. Latoya, that was my first time meeting Toya too.
No, okay.
So, she looked good up there too, man.
She looked great, man. She looked great. She sounded good. She was dope, man. She was I had fun, man. We had fun laughing back there at rehearsal and backstage. She was cool, man.
It's funny because when Latoya came up on stage, me and my wife was watching this show called Greenleaf.
Yeah.
And my wife, we watched the show the whole time. My wife had no idea that was the same person.
Yeah.
So now when she see her singing, she's like, "Oh, that's that snake girl on Greenleaf."
Yeah. So I told her backstage at the show, I was like, "Look, man, we gotta get some work together, man. I would love to work with you." And I said, "Just let me know when you're done trying to sabotage Pastor Greenleaf." And she was like, "I was not sabotaging Pastor Greenleaf." I said, "No, that was a man in the cloth. You had that man."
Yeah, Bishop Greenleaf.
Yeah, the bishop.
And what I forgot the actor's real name, but you know the actor Ryan Rocket. He played the older man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, the dude who's always a villain.
The dad.
Yeah, he's always a villain.
Yeah, I was about to say the daddy, the New News daddy on ATL.
Yeah,
but that was Bishop Greenleaf, and she was like trying to mess around with him.
Yeah, and she had a sinister ulterior motive. Yeah, my boy open, man.
Yeah, but
so go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, okay.
Yeah, I know.
So you mentioned that you basically had met a lot of people, and I know you done perform, you done did songs with these people, so they're pretty close to you at this point. But was there any moment on stage where I'm not gonna say you got starstruck, but you got kind of you really had a moment where you're like, wow, I'm really on stage watching so and so perform, like Zero do Mo City Dawn or anything like that? Was there a moment where you just had to really step back and say, an existential moment where you really realize you're on here with some legends?
There was a few. There was a moment that Blum was on there that I was like, wow, this is crazy. I think the initial, like when Bun first came out, I was like, we are at the rodeo, bro. This is crazy. And then looking around the stadium and seeing 70,000 people doing the South Side was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like that was like I mean, bro, I was at the last time I was at NRG was for the On the Run 2 tour.
Oh wow.
And that was crazy. But 70,000, like, I mean, because we know Jay-Z. Like,
Yeah.
like Niggas in Paris is gonna ring out everywhere. PSA is gonna ring out everywhere. We know Beyonce. Beyonce, you know, when she do Single Ladies or I'm a Diva or you know, all of those records, like we know that those are gonna ring off, right? But when that beat dropped, that do 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 do, and then and Kiki walked out there with the utmost confidence and just like the look in his eye, like you could just tell, like I was like, oh wow, he's really finna kill this shit. And when he Texas from the South, and I looked up and everybody in the stadium was doing the South. I was doing the South Side.
I was.
I was doing the South Side. I was like, that part was like, I said, this is insane. This is insane. Everybody was doing it. I think the only thing that could have come close to that would have probably been Wanna Be a Baller. If we did Wanna Be a Baller, that would have, oh my God. But
Man.
it was crazy. And then watching the slabs come out and everybody lose their mind. Yeah, it was the most Houston shit I've ever been a part of in my life. And I've been a part of a lot of very Houston shit. But it was crazy. And then I don't know how we were able to pull off this entire show and still have Jay Prince get up there and talk to everybody.
Man, I lost my mind when I seen Jay Prince. I'm like, wait a minute, who is that? I'm
Yo,
like, who's that in this cowboy shit? Hey, man, shout out to the Houston Rodeo.
Man,
like,
James Prince walking backstage with that. I don't know if you saw the fit for real. He had cow print suede on the top of the leather jacket with black leather and the fringe on the side with the gator boots.
Damn.
I think they were gator or crocodile, something like that. They were black gator and crocodile. And then backstage he had the hat too. He had that bitch like this. And then he said in the back, he said yeah, oh yeah. He said, I pulled this jacket out. He said, I had this jacket since the 80s. He said, I had to pull it out the closet. He said, it was a little bit big on me back then, but now he had it buttoned all the way. He had it zipped all the way up. What was really funny though, hopefully we get, you guys will see it. But Saman, y'all know Saman?
No.
Saman is one of the greatest people that I've ever known. Like he's like the most positive human being I've ever been around. He's a cat from Cyprus, and he went to UT, and I met him a long time ago. He was doing interviews for Longhorn Hip Hop. He went to UT, and you know, me and him have been friends ever since since I started making music. You know, he was a lot younger, you know, moving around and you know, being at all the shows or whatever. He got real cool with Bun over the years, and he actually had a podcast. He did there was a documentary that was done, a short documentary that was done for, I believe it was Bun. I think it was Bun. And he did it, and it had Hannibal Buress on it, and it had I believe there was a Chris Rock moment on there, you know, all that stuff. But anyway, he's you know, cool guy, but he does this thing where he plays rock paper scissors with everybody, and he got he got Jay Prince to play rock paper scissors with him, and he said, so they get ready, and they go, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And he goes, rock, paper, scissors, and he did this.
Of course, I
And
knew it. I knew
and
it.
he said, clearly I won. Oh man, that was hilarious, dog.
That's the most Jay Prince rock
Yeah.
paper scissors story you could possibly have, man. Like as soon as you started, I knew he was gonna point the finger gun out, dog. I knew it. That's too funny. That's too funny. So yeah, good friend of the show, Jay Prince, man.
Yeah,
Salute
man.
to him
Oh yeah.
out there. Oh yeah. So man, we don't want to keep you too long, bro, but we did mention you were on that little Kiki album.
Yep.
You know, I liked your songs, man. I reviewed the album on the podcast. I thought it was good. I liked your songs. I was nervous when you had a song called Having Things, because that's one of my favorite songs by Pimp C and Big Mike. So I'm like, let's not have them word for word remake that classic. But I like what y'all did with it. I like the hook on it, dog. You did a great job on it. How did y'all link up, and how did y'all end up working together for that last album?
So I was on Self-Made 2, and we were able to connect back then and do a record. And he hit me a few months back and was like, "Man, I got a couple beats that I want to send you." And Having Things is Justice League,
Yeah.
and Legend Talk is Mr. Lee. And so he sent me both. He was like, "Man, just pick whichever one you want to do." And I was listening to both of them, and then we talked on the phone. He was like, "So which one you feeling?" I was like, "Man, I really could do both of them." And then we'll just pick and see which one we like the most or whatever. So on the way to the studio, I was structuring out my verse, and he was just like, I was structuring out my hook, and he's like, because he was like, "Man, I want you to just do whatever you want to do on it. Just breathe on it." Because he didn't. There was no verses on either one of those. And so with Having Things, we did Having Things first, and so I wrote the hook and the verse in for like 20 minutes, and I was like, "Man, I'm gonna just do a lot so that he can see if he can keep." And then initially there was nothing on the song, so like I was just the first thing you hear on it for a while. And I started laying it, and I think I posted it on Instagram. Like, there's a longer video, like 15-minute video of me laying the verse down, and I was punching in and doing line for line because I wanted to make sure that my diction was good on all of it, so I can really get the lines down. And so I started going, and then as I was going, we would stop, and then I could hear Bruce in the back like, "Ooh," and I was like, "Okay, yeah." And he said, "This shit is dope," and I was like, "You think so?" So I kept going, and then Kiki walked in because he was outside. He walked in, and so once I laid the verse, I started trying to lay the hook down, and because I all I could think of was like, this is a verse, this is a song that like, it's basically just talking about how on my verses, just talking about how, you do all this work, you do all of this, you put in all of this time, and you earn um, all of the things that you earn, and you want to bring it back, and you want to share it with your friends and with your homies and with the hood, and everybody not happy for you, and you ain't do nothing but show them love all of this time, but um, it's always somebody out there that want what you got. Um, it's jealous.
Uh-oh.
Somebody must be calling.
Again.
I got a call just now, but I'm back. Y'all hear?
Yeah, you good.
Okay. So yeah, it was all of that. Everybody not being happy that you got what you have. You know what I'm saying? They don't like you in that car. They don't like seeing you. Even you though you giving back, that nigga ain't shit. That nigga, or uh sometimes they get to snitching on you, talking about some things that happened way back in the gap. You know what I'm saying? And for that's why on that hook I say I feel the love and the hate when you see a nigga having things, because it's like, man, you come home to bring the trophy to your friends, and it's like, man, you done went out and you done went on tour, you on TV, you making the money that you wanted to make, you probably happier than you've ever been. Your life is all together, and you come back to the homies and you like, yo, I just was such and such. I was just with up there, and and you want to share it and tell your friends about it, and they not feeling you. You know what I mean? And I know that a lot of those guys can really resonate with that, because everybody had an opportunity to where they made a lot of money in this game, and people just feel like you owe them, or they feel like you sold out.
You changed, yep.
I don't know why y'all's mics are muted at this point. For me, I can't hear nothing.
Can y'all hear? Can you hear?
I hear everything. I think it's because he got a call. Maybe it changed something.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, Jack got technical difficulties. We're gonna figure it out in a little bit. But yeah, I recommend everybody go check out that Lil Kiki album, especially the 2 songs that Jack is
I can't
on.
hear nothing y'all saying.
Yeah.
Jack
is
yeah.
Nah, I think he's trying to figure. He might have to
Be
close
right
it and
back.
reopen it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly recommend y'all check out that Lil Kiki album and the songs Jack is on. Good music, man. Jack doing his thing as always. So
yeah,
make sure y'all check that out.
I gotta ask Jack too, because at the end of the concert, towards the end, they almost had a little mama moment.
Uh-oh.
Where a random person hopped up on stage. I don't know how this guy got on stage, but dude, he hopped on, and Bun B like, get your ass off the stage. Who is this? And we like, what's going on?
I don't know who that was. I don't know who that got. Yeah. I had to come back out.
I seen him walking towards the stage, and the first thing I was thinking about was like, oh, this must be another guest. But then he like kind of rolled on stage. I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't no artist rolling on stage like that. He ain't take the stairs or nothing. And I heard Bun B, get your ass off stage. Who was that? And then you could tell the dude was kind of drunk. And
he's super drunk.
Then Bun B after a while, he like forget, come on back. You up here now? Come on. Hey, Bun B showed him some.
He said, I don't know how you got up here, but you up here. Nah, I ain't even gonna act like that. I ain't even gonna do that today.
Yeah, but, so he dapped him up, gave him a hug. Yeah. But that security guard, man, was waiting on something to happen. So everything
also, was. Can we give a round of applause to Zero? Because here's the thing: the rodeo is supposed to be a clean show.
Mm-hmm.
And Zero edited himself.
Most of the yes. I was really impressed.
He edited himself all of it.
I was really
also.
I was so impressed with that, man, because it's like I got a clean version of that song, but it don't really sound that good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, man, because I want to play it on the show. But the edited version doesn't sound weak. But he did a good job, man.
Because I'll tell you who did not edit himself. ESG.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. He let a couple niggas go by. I'm like, did he say that?
I think he genuinely just forgot. I think because he wasn't really at rehearsal with us. He came like the day before. So he really only had like a day to really prepare. So I think he just forgot. Slim did the most BET edit I've ever heard in my life. He said on Thug, he says, Slim Thugger, mother, brother. I said, oh my God, That is hilarious. And he did it at the at the sound check too. And I said, he's not gonna say mother brother, is he? But he did it. I said, man, if you don't get that BET ass on.
Like that scene from Poetic Justice, the BET version.
Yeah.
Damn you, witch.
Yeah.
Damn you.
Damn you. Yeah, damn you. Mother fudge cake. Yeah.
No, that's too funny. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I know they were also nervous when Cardi B. I think Cardi B let some stuff slide too when she did the rodeo. So yeah, I was kind of nervous about that too. I'm like, man, I hope everybody, keep it as clean as they can. But it's good to hear that everybody was able to hold it down in a family-friendly environment.
Yeah,
it was crazy. It was crazy. Didn't nobody smoke the back out? Didn't nobody smoke the room out in the back? Didn't nobody? I think everybody got their vices in.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. It's funny you said that because I was in a suite, and as soon as the show started, man, I just smelled some random weed smoke. I'm like, what the? I ain't smell this at Tim McGraw. I'm like, I always.
I know what's happening. This thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just look. I'm like, damn, I never smelled weed smoking NRG ever. In this show, I smell it now. I'm like, okay.
It was crazy back there. We didn't, because everybody, that's the cool thing is just that everybody was so respectful of just not wanting to do the wrong thing because because we kept saying, man, like, we do this wrong, ain't nobody coming behind us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep the bullshit to a minimum. There was a couple people that came to the backstage that shouldn't have been backstage, and we all know that. But like it was a couple, because it's always gonna be somebody that wants to just be in the mix all the time, and they don't know how to just play their position. I mean, you got a ticket, you got in, just
that's the one thing I was worried about too. I didn't want this to look like a versus where the stage is full of people and you like, who is this guy? And everybody in the way, everybody want to be seen and be on the stage, but it was super clean, man. I was super impressed. I wanted to ask you too, because you mentioned how I guess the plan was to have Mike Jones on. Now was also the backup plan. I'm mad I don't really know the young lady name, but what was the little girl name from Lele? Yeah. Was that kind of a last minute plan too?
No, she was always going to be on the show. Lele became, I think she's the youngest person to ever sign a record deal.
Really? Damn.
Like in Houston or ever?
She was ever, like the youngest rapper. She was 8 years old when she signed that deal.
What?
Yeah. She was 8. She was 8 when Empire signed her. And she used to rap in the car all the time. She used to her pops and used to I guess her pops was writing her raps at the moment, and she would rap in the car. And I remember meeting her because I know her mom, Antonika's personal trainer, gym owner, around the city. She's super dope. She's, I believe, from Port Arthur. And she probably don't even remember. I met Lele when she was probably like 3 or 4. And she just always had so much personality. She's just sassy, and she's just one of them kids. At that, I was like, that little girl gonna be something. I don't know what she's gonna be. She's gonna be something. And she started rapping, and I was like, that makes sense. She was rapping. I mean, she's 6, 7 years old, spitting verses, and she started getting a ton of followers, and ended up getting, I don't know how many followers she has now. She probably got like 1 million followers at this point, but she got signed, and then when she got signed, she got that show on Nickelodeon. So now, like, that girl probably more famous than all of us because she's got a show on Nickelodeon. She's got a record deal, and she has her own doll. Like, she got a Lele doll.
Damn.
And so, that was cool because it's an all ages show, so the kids know her. like the little kids are probably like, oh, that's Lele. We know her. So, but that was why we did it I think that's why we did it at the beginning, to be like, let's get her up there.
Yeah.
She got her own crowd that's probably gonna be there to see her. And it also, I thought that was really dope because you know, she's young, man. She's what is she, 11 now? 12,
Damn.
something like that. And she's um you know, seeing a little black girl at the rodeo rapping and doing her thing, like it was probably all
Yeah.
types of little girls that around there that got to see somebody that they look up to, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and let them know that they can do it. There's so many people out there that was actually really like, I'm 33 and I don't really watch the show or anything like that, but that's inspiring, man. That's a be able to see, just think about the kids that were our age that was famous when we were watching TV and shit like that, and you you like, man, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or man, like that kid the same age as me. Like anything's possible. So that was great to have her. There was a couple people that, so she was always planned. Mike was planned. Um, I think they tried to get Megan.
Really?
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know what that conversation was. I don't know what that conversation was, but she was on. Her name was on the set list
No,
Mm.
okay.
from the initial show. But I think I feel like she might be doing a festival this weekend or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah, I figured.
um,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know, that
That's
that would have been very dope to see her.
that's actually shocking because I figured she probably wasn't going to be a part of it for the strength of the 1501 stuff and Jay Prince. I figured Jay Prince was
Yeah,
probably going to be there too. So I kind of figured she
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
going to show up. But I think that's kind of
yeah,
cool that she was at least mentioned that they that
yeah,
Bun
yeah. I think,
B tried to go all out. He pretty much went LA Rams and just tried to get everybody.
yeah, yeah. I would have loved to have seen her. I don't really know the ins and outs of why she didn't come, but I know that there was a thought process that she should be here, and that um I think we would have all loved to have had her, but maybe there was a situation with Jay Prince and 1501, and maybe you know if that were the case, it was probably for the best that she didn't come, just to kind of just so that there's no awkwardness in the back, or there's no issue, because we really didn't see Jay Prince until the day of the show. He was
Mhm.
he wasn't really involved much at all, as far as like being at rehearsal and putting any type of show together. He might have put in some calls and here and there, but yeah, I didn't see Jay Prince until he got there, so um, probably made the most sense. But
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that would have been crazy, but also I could see how that could also, I don't want to say detract from anything. Of course not. She's a huge star, but
yeah,
it would have been like that would have taken away from some of the OGs maybe, because she's so big right now. Her
yeah,
music's popping so much, and her audience is
mhm,
a little different now too. I think I would
yeah,
most likely think most people in the
yeah,
audience grew up with the Swisher House and SUC sound, but her audience is
yeah,
everybody right now. So to get her on to do like one or two songs would have been these huge chart topping hits right now, and then go back to like
yeah,
swanging and banging or something would have been kind of crazy. So
yeah.
I could see why, but it still would have
And
been
I
nice to
think,
see
and
her.
I think, I think she was also probably going to be close to the end of the set too.
Yeah.
How they did
So,
Toby, pretty
right,
much.
yeah, right, yeah. I think she probably would have ended up going on after Toby. Um, Also, and I understand it probably would have been bad optics at this point, but I would have liked to have seen Travis too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, but it's just such an unfortunate situation for him, man, and um,
Yeah.
I hope
I
he's well, man. I hope he's good.
yeah. It looked like he good, man. He hanging out with James Harden
Yeah. Yeah.
after
Yeah.
the Sixers got their ass whooped.
Yeah,
He look like
I think we're all hanging out with James Harden at this point. I think we're all James Harden's friend at this point. Like
I tweeted this a couple days ago. I feel like James Harden gonna be the next Carl Crawford, man. I think after he finished with basketball, I don't think he gonna have nothing to do with basketball. He gonna start a label. He gonna hang out with all these rappers. He gonna sign some artists and all that stuff, man. It seems like he don't give a crap about basketball, man. It seems like he just do his job. After that, he go kick it. He don't let these losses bother him at all.
You know what I think? I like James because he really is just about hooping. He don't care about nothing but hooping and like you said, kicking it with the homies, with his friends, and so as hard as he parties, he works too. And he, you know what I mean? Like the stuff he does on the court, you can't do that without working. And he's, I know people got bad taste in their mouth for the way he left Houston, and maybe they got the same bad taste in Brooklyn, but I respect him because I think for him, it's just like, bro, I don't care about none of the other bullshit. Just I want to hoop. And I would have loved to have seen him with Chris Paul a little bit longer. That would have been dope. I thought him and Russell Westbrook would have been a solid duo again, but that didn't pan out. But Harden is funny. Like I remember when he first got here, we got eliminated by OKC that first year. And if the game was over at 10, he was at the club at 10:15. I saw him, I was like, we just lost. What you doing? And then followed. He came to Dreams later on that night too. He's hilarious, man. He's a party guy. So I think I don't know how he does it actually.
Man, got limitless energy, man. Like I don't understand either because I see him. You'll see clips of him like working out after the game too, and then he gonna go to the club right after the game too. So like you just played a whole 4 quarters of pro basketball, then worked out after the game, then went to the club after working out.
I was so damn tired because yesterday.
Kind of like, is everybody there?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah. He's kind of like Rodman in a sense. He's like
I get that vibe.
Like he's gonna get the work in. When he gets to practice or when he gets to the workouts, he's gonna get it in, and then he's going to go party, and then he's gonna be back. I'll see y'all at practice the next day. I might be a little bit late, but I'm gonna be there, and that's just what it is. So
man,
he's a character, man.
Shit, the last yesterday and
Mike
today.
Cut off again. That alert and screwed up. Anytime I get a hold on.
I think he lost to us again.
Yeah,
because
I'm about to leave the thing again. I'll be
all right.
Yeah.
Every time he gets a call, we ain't gonna hold him too much longer. I know he got that phone blowing up now.
Yeah, but it's funny because I'm like, I don't see how Harden do that because I be yesterday I went to work. Barely had time to go home and relax, and then went to the concert, and then got back up for the podcast. It's like fuck, like I'm over here fucking tired, and I got to go to another event today. So I'm like,
Jack, we hear you, we don't see you though. Okay, you coming on now? We see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm learning that on this thing, like if I get a call or an Amber Alert, y'all mics cut off for some reason.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do this. Well, you can't do not disturb a Amber Alert, but yeah.
We ain't gonna hold you much longer, man. We know you got things to do. We also got to do the podcast thing too. But
yeah, for sure.
I guess just going to wrap up by talking about your personal projects. Now I will go back to Aaron Foster, Bobby Fino. He dropped a project last year. And I thought it was very solid. I enjoyed it. I was a little disappointed because there was no Jack Freeman song on it, man.
Actually, what's funny is I'm on the first song.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'm singing background on the
See, I didn't
okay.
catch that.
that
Damn.
hi yeah, I'm on that.
Okay,
But
you
yeah,
weren't credited, but you were
yeah
okay. That's good to
we had did
hear.
a couple songs, but I guess they just didn't fit the project. But it's a solid project though.
Yeah.
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 So, do y'all have any other collaborations in the mix? Are y'all gonna be working again soon, or?
We haven't worked in a while, but um, hopefully so, man. I hope we can get something done, and um, I really hadn't seen her in a few months, some months.
Yeah.
So, but I think he's doing well. We spoke last week, so he's doing. I think he's doing good, man. Yeah, working on that. Uh, there's a Pokey record that could come out. There's a J Dog record that I'll probably be on. Um, I'm working on trying to do one with Rother Vandross. Uh,
Okay.
uh, the most that he done, Zero to Cricket.
Now, who would be singing the hook though? Because
I think I would. I think
okay,
I would. Maybe
okay,
we could switch. Maybe I can rap and we can
okay.
uh, connecting with Flip. I think we might try to get one in. Other than that, man, I've been making a lot of music lately.
That's good.
I got some jammer lammers on the
Okay.
way. So
I'm just
um,
waiting on that Gems and Juice podcast collab, man.
on
We need a Gems and Juice podcast song or something, man.
oh man, let's do it, dog. Let's do it. We get a beat. We get a beat.
Yeah, I'm telling every artist who hop on here, like, man, we need a Gems and Juice podcast song. I
All
want
right.
to try to get Beat King to make a Gems and Juice. He probably make a twerk Gems and Juice
Yeah.
podcast something.
Yeah, be Jim and Juice and then a bunch of women
Shake that
trying to
ass, bitch. Gems and
yeah,
Juice.
and then have a bunch of women trying to swallow a cucumber. Yeah, man. Hey, B King is a menace.
No,
He's a
he
menace
really
to
is,
society.
man. He really is. He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get a intro song for us at some point, man. But we definitely
Sure.
gonna tap in at some point. But so, man, I ask you this every time we talk. New album, new project coming soon. It's been a minute. It's been more than a minute now. The streets
Yeah.
hungry for some new solo Jack Freeman content, dog. When you gonna feed us?
The album is coming. When putting it together, I've been working on the album for like the last year. Since probably the last time I saw y'all, I've gotten into a new management situation. So trying to be as proactive about that and trying to figure out the plan and all of that stuff is vital. But the music is coming. I mean, mostly because I want it to be. I want it to.
Okay.
Like I want that music to drop because this shit is this is some dope shit. So yeah, it's
So
definitely
this year potentially.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, in the next few months, we can
Okay.
get that ball rolling, get the summer popping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the big question is when you getting back on Twitter, man. I feel like Donald Trump gonna get on Twitter before you.
Man, I'm banned for life, bro.
Man, we need to set up a fake email or something. I need to make an email for you.
I'm okay. I'm okay with being banned because if you're gonna ban me for calling Jason Whitlock a coon, then I'll look, take me to jail, lock me up there because it wasn't like I was wrong. I didn't say anything that wasn't right.
See this is how you screwed up. You screwed up by spelling the word coon out. You got to spell C00N or something where Twitter won't catch it.
See, I think he reported it though.
Yeah, it had to be because everybody called Jason Whitlock a coon, and not everybody. He must have seen the check.
I think
he
reports people. He reports people because I think Dr. Umar blocked me too.
Oh no!
I think I was blocked by Umar.
Wait a minute. How did you get blocked by Dr. Umar? Come on,
I
man.
don't know. I probably called him a crook.
A hustler. Come on, man. That school gonna be built one day.
No, it'll never. That school will never be built. That school will never be built. I don't even know why he doesn't even have a home. Talking about he gonna build a school.
Look,
Remember that time he was just at the jungle gym at a park, and he was sitting up there yelling at his phone about white
damn
people.
NBA is a suspect.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous, dog.
He lost me when he started talking about Naomi Osaka. How I forgot what
she
should
have mad because she didn't represent Haiti in the Olympics. She represented Japan. It's like Haiti ain't even got a national tennis team, man. Like that, there's a whole lot of reasons why she's never been a coon about her Haitian heritage. She's always been proud of it. So he was tripping on that.
He said some shit. I was just like, that don't even make sense, man.
Yeah,
so I'm like, all right.
He's just a run your mouth ass nigga that just wants to. And like the only people that are so happy to interview this motherfucker is the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, pretty much.
Stop putting that man on TV. Stop talking to this dude. He's an idiot.
See, I can't. See, I'm not gonna act like he never had a good point. I think he has. There's some uncomfortable discussions that people should have.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he's not the best messenger considering. Like, I don't believe anybody who's trying to sell a product or get money and do it by talking on this truth and power stuff. But that's just.
But he's like a pastor.
Yeah.
But he's like a shady pastor. It's like, look, what you're telling me makes sense. Like the message, thou shalt not kill, makes sense. It's the other things around you that, you know what I'm saying? Like you might go to church and the pastor just talking about some wild shit, and you're just like, bro, can we just get to the part where you tell me not to go to hell? You know what I'm saying? That's what he is. Like he'll throw in a good point, but then he throws it around. He throws all that hotep garbage, hullabaloo shit, and then also tries to tell you to send him some money.
Yeah.
And we good on that. And I get it. Like all movements need money and to function, but no, I don't like the way he does it.
Don't be shaming nobody for sending you $5. Yeah. Don't be saying next time make it 20. Like, man, you lucky you got anything at all, dog. Don't be like that. But
and then he rides that wave of like him being a descendant of Frederick Douglass, and it's like, nigga, no, you're not, bro. Like, stop lying to everybody, man. Just stop lying, man. I think I put that on Instagram recently. I was like, no matter what we go through as a community, the answer is never Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's never Umar, and it's never Sean King.
Yeah, I agree. No, 100%.
Like if the cops beat the hell out of me on the street, don't tell Sean King. Please don't tell Sean King.
Hey, he gonna make it GoFundMe. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna get that money, but
no, you're definitely
If Sean King talk about it, I might be like, nah, I ain't about to support this.
Yeah.
Who was the celebrity that died and he sent out a GoFundMe?
I forget. It's been so many.
I think it might have been DMX or something like that.
Oh no!
Like he sent out a mass email and he was like, "Oh, hello all. The passing of such and such is tragic, and our thoughts and prayers are out."
I remember something like that.
And he was like, "And by the way, I have a fucking graphic novel or whatever the hell he was doing, and he wanted everybody to send money to." I'm like, dog, you are the worst nigga of all time.
Yeah,
that's rough. Because that's been a story with these Black Lives Matter organizers too. A lot of them had been revealed to have taken all these donations for themselves, and none of it really went to the cause it was supposed to go to. So you always hate seeing shit like that, man. But that's unfortunately the life we live in the generation that we're a part of now. So, but yeah, I always hate hearing shit like that.
Niggas gonna need.
Really though.
Mhm.
So yeah, well, we got our check. We're talking about your music, man. So you got new music coming this year, hopefully. Probably not gonna get banned off, unbanned off of Twitter, but you can follow that man, Jack Freeman, on Instagram.
I am Jack Freeman.
I am Jack Freeman on Instagram. Is there any other social media you're on, TikTok or anything like that? Do you fuck with TikTok?
I mean, I'm on TikTok as I am Jack Freeman, but I don't really use it that much. So just hit me on the gram, man. You know.
Yeah.
Don't hit me on Facebook because I'm not gonna check that.
Yeah, like all of us. Yeah. Make sure y'all check out his music as well. Hopefully new music coming soon. Like we said, check out that new Kiki album, Legend. He's on 2 tracks on there. And yeah, as always, we're very grateful to have our friend Jack Freeman on the show anytime, man. We're definitely gonna make it happen again soon. Hopefully again in studio next time.
Yes,
so,
let's do it. Let's do it, man. I appreciate y'all having me, dog.
We appreciate you.